Aotearoa's unique flora and fauna evolved in isolation, away from many pests and predators. But ever since humans first arrived, we've brought invasive species along for the ride. Some intentionally, some accidentally, and even today there are many more just waiting to find a way in.
There's quite a lot of work in trying to find out, can we use genomics to predict whether a species is going to arrive in New Zealand? In an environment where we don't have all the money in the world to deal with invasive pests, understanding which ones we really need to target is important.
Before we work out how to eliminate an invasive pest, it's useful to know what makes it invasive. Understanding its strengths can help identify its weaknesses.
I'm focusing in particular on blowflies, measuring the traits that they have that might make them invasive, how rapidly they progress through their development stages, how they might be influenced by competition with other species. So if I can compare these more invasive and less invasive species, then I can identify the Achilles heel and try to use that to inform new management practices. If we have this understanding of what drives successful invasion, then we can really start to be moving into that more proactive response. So we can actually identify things as a threat, predict their risk, and become prepared before they get here.
In the same way we were able to trace the spread of COVID around the country, genomics can provide clues to help understand how pests spread and how many might be out there.
So on Waiheke Island, they've done a great job so far getting the stoat populations down to a few remaining individuals. What's really important to know is are those lone individuals? Are they offspring of a mum that's there somewhere? Or are they immigrants from outside of Waiheke?
We're using it to look at ants that are spread between islands and see if we can see how they're getting from island to island and who's responsible and how do we stop those events occurring.
When trapping and other traditional methods aren't sufficient to control a destructive pest or predator species, we need new tools. One such tool being looked at is gene drive, where a pest species such as a rat can be manipulated to pass on a particular gene.
Rather than having equal balance of male and females, they'd have only male offspring. And through that way they would reduce the reproductive potential of the rat population.
We're also doing similar work in wasps. Wasps are massive predators of New Zealand insects. We don't know how many species of native insects wasps have caused to become extinct. We didn't have a genome of the wasp till a couple of years ago. Nobody has done any genetic modification in a wasp.
Gene drive technology is cutting-edge science, meaning there's no guarantee of success, and every pest species has its own challenges.
If you want to look into new genetic control tools for marsupials, there's an immediate barrier. The marsupial egg has a hard shell compared to the normal mammal embryo. And so while it's quite easy to manipulate relatively mammals like mice and rats, we just can't get over these technical barriers right now for doing this kind of manipulation work with the brush-tailed possum.
Even if we can manipulate the genome of a species to help contain its spread or even eradicate it entirely, there's a bigger question: should we?
Gene drives are challenging because of this idea that they're going to cause the extinction of a species. Do we as humans have the right to deliberately cause the extinction of something to save something else? Or do we have to say, well, actually the process of stoats killing all our birds, that's a natural one, and so we should allow that to happen? And that thought is something that we're really keen to be doing and engaging with people around. In North Africa, Anopheles mosquitoes are one target of gene drives, and they have gene drive technologies working in the lab and they're very close to releasing them. And in that case, they really are talking about eradication of a species. They might be pesky, they might spread a disease, but what other things are we going to affect? There's a whole food web out there. If we take them out, what are the consequences?
As Aotearoa moves towards relaxing our rules around genetic engineering, these big questions are no longer for a sci-fi future, but right here and now.